Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and I am excited to be bringing Division D East semifinal number 1. We are in our second round of the postseason and looking for our first half of the final bout. We're going to see Wait Till 10 going up against 30 Seconds to Mosh in a best-of-5 series. Our playoffs are a single elimination bracket, so the team that loses tonight will unfortunately end their season there, though they've had a good run of it thus far. And both of these teams, interestingly enough, back to NGS after some time away. Wait Till 10 back after a 2-season hiatus, with 30 Seconds to Mosh taking just a single season break. And both of our teams have a fair bit of synergy between their members, since they've been playing together in slightly different formations since Season 11, and that's back in 2021. So there's been a lot of time for these teams to work together and learn each other's habits and whatnot, so it should be an exciting series. I'll also say that we can take a look at our bracket. Speaking of the postseason bracket, let's take a look. All right. So, as we can see, Wait Till 10 and 30 Seconds to Mosh matching up against one another. Wait Till 10 had a first round bye. They did not have to compete in the quarterfinals, whereas 30 Seconds to Mosh fought a 2-1 victory over Yavapai with all of their other letters. And let's take a look at our battleground selection to see where we'll be headed for Game 1 of the series. We've got 30 Seconds to Mosh with the map choice. Wait Till 10 opting for first pick with their first seed. We also saw map bans. We're headed to Infernal Shrines, but we saw some map bans as well, with Braxis and Battlefield of Eternity banned by 30 Seconds to Mosh, and Towers in Volskaya for Wait Till 10. And it looks like we've got both of our teams ready. I'll let them know we're already out here in TV Land as well, and I'll also take this time to thank everyone who's tuned in. Past the Meeple mentioning that it's too bad there weren't too many streams this season. I unfortunately have been far less available than in previous seasons. I'm glad to be able to bring the playoffs to y'all, but it's not exactly as frequent as I would have liked it to be, so apologies, at least on my part. Is it a best of 5? Yes, it is a best of 5 series. Wait Till 10, up until this point, have only participated in 2-0 series. They have either won or lost in a 2-0 for every one of their regular season games. So I'll be interested to see how far into this best of 5 we end up going. Back in the final week of the regular season, these two had their last face-off, and it went in favor of Wait Till 10. So I'm sure 30 Seconds to Mosh would love to get a crack at Wait Till 10, this first place team, and see if they can't turn the tables. We've got a first ban Anduin for Wait Till 10. We might see some heavy Brightwing priority, as well as Stukov. Both teams enjoying those healers. There's also a lot of Vala priority for Wait Till 10. We're going to see the Joe ban instead. Johanna strong on the battleground. There's the Deathwing ban. One of the most common bans against 30 Seconds to Mosh. I'm not sure if that is a flex Deathwing or if it's a specialty of Raka. I believe it's a flex Deathwing. But either way, 30 Seconds have drawn many bans of it thus far throughout the season. Final ban here for Mosh is going to be the Vala ban. A very strong assassin in almost any draft. And there's that Brightwing priority that we alluded to with a first pick of the Fairy Dragon. This leaves Stukov up. Stukov is the most banned healer against 30 Seconds. So I'll be interested to see if they snap it here before the next ban phase. And we've got the Blaze and Li Ming. Okay. I'm a little surprised to see the Li Ming on Infernal Shrines. She can have a little bit of difficulty getting her spells onto heroes around the objective pit, but Blaze always a solid choice in the first round of the draft, as Wait Till 10 snap up a Noob and Tassadar. Excellent. Next ban here for 30 Seconds to Mosh. They could look to ban an offlaner. Oftentimes we'll see Leoric bans with an early pick Blaze. Going to be the Falstad instead, continuing to narrow the auto attack hero pool. I think that makes a lot of sense. And no doubt these teams have done their scouting homework. And we'll see, Wait Till 10 could look for a main tank ban here. Blaze might swap to main tank as well. 30 Seconds to Mosh seem, based on what I picked up in my scouting, seem to be running a fair bit of main tank Blaze throughout the regular season. So the Blaze early is another flexible pick in that regard. It's going to be Diablo and Deckard. Okay. Diablo always strong on the battleground. Deckard, no cleanse from the support for 30 Seconds to Mosh. We've got Malthael for Hannibal. And last choice here for Wait Till 10. I like the Malthael pick as far as applying pressure to Blaze and Diablo. And there's Hanzo. Alright, last pick for 30 Seconds to Mosh. Their flex choice. They would do well with a strong auto attacker of their own. Malthael and Anubarak, both rather squishy. So perhaps something like a Cassia or a Greymane. It's going to be Zool instead. All right. Very different approach. I like it. Let's take a look at our drafts as both teams get through the swap phase and load into game one. I don't know about the Flex Zool. I'm curious to see how that works out. Neither Zool nor Blaze are particularly high damage output melee heroes. Starting at 13, Blaze can start to do some serious damage with Collision Course, his jet propulsion talent, and Zool, if he's allowed to just chop with W build, can get a fair bit of damage out there as well. But Li Ming, not what I would think of as a traditional hyper carry. So I definitely prefer Wait Till 10's composition in that regard, though I will say they are pretty squishy. So it's going to come down to execution as it always does. So let's see how our teams fare in game one. We can introduce them here. On the left in blue, we've got Wait Till 10, Ronin on Anubarak, Hannibal on Malthael, Iceman on Hanzo, Lady Ronin on Brightwing, and Tantrum playing Tassadar. To the right in red, 30 Seconds to Mosh, we've got Born to Shine on Deckard, Hunter X on Li Ming, Raka playing Blaze, Farfanugan on Zool, and ALWH97. I'm just going to call them Al on Diablo. Taking a look at our level 1 talents here. We've opted for Greater Polymorph at level 1 for the Brightwing rather than Hyper Shift, a little bit more commonly seen, especially when paired with high HP frontliners. But if you've got an Anubarak and Malthael, you do not need that percentage healing as much. So, not a bad choice. We also see a quest for Iceman going for target practice Q build at level 1. Farfanugan putting a little bit of pressure on Ronin here and getting this wave moving. I don't think they've scouted that 30 Seconds got onto that bottom camp. Farfanugan taking so much damage there, but Born is in range to drop the floor juice. I like 30 Seconds to Mosh's rotation since the most recent patch. Getting on the neutral camp at 30 seconds can net you some free experience. So, especially if your opponents are a little bit slow to the rotation. Yeah, and it looks like they're not going to drop any experience in bot lane either. So, that's just free real estate for 30 Seconds to Mosh on the experience front. Checking in on top lane, Hannibal pressuring Raka out a fair bit. That is definitely a Malthael into Blaze lane, if I ever did see one. "30 Seconds to Mosh have decent wave clear, but not necessarily the most safe wave clear. Farfanugan and Raka both bring a lot of wave clear with Zool and Blaze respectively, but they have to be in melee range to get that clear. Li Ming not going to offer as much in that regard as some of your other more AoE focused mages. And we can see Wait Till 10 are going to take advantage of that unsafe position that Farfanugan has to step into to clear the wave, get a little bit of a Nubarak siege going, and put some pressure on this bot wall. 30 Seconds to Mosh got their Bruiser camp out. Oh, Raka in deep there. It looks like that's going to be first blood. Hannibal with the spray for dominance. Before, I was talking about how Mosh got their Bruiser camp out, and I wasn't sure if Wait Till 10 was going to get through theirs in quite as timely a fashion. But right before the objective spawns, here we have it. Blaze has respawned, so Raka will be able to participate in this objective. I like 30 Seconds to Mosh's ability to snag the Shrine monsters a little bit better thanks to Iceman's level 4 talent, Explosive Arrows. It's a lot of damage onto Hannibal. Hannibal falling rather low. The cleanse comes out from Lady Ronin. Hunter X cannot connect the last couple of magic missiles, and so the Malthael is going to heal a lot of that damage back up. The lane has gone a little bit in favor of Wait Till 10 now that their Bruiser Camp has continued to push, and 30 Seconds to Mosh have fallen pretty far behind on objective progress here. It's going to be tough for them to prevent Wait Till 10 from getting in here and stealing those last few Shrine monsters. Al taking a lot of damage. They've got some potions to fall back to. Another root this time onto the Anubarak. A great stun onto the Hanzo. Hunter X follows up with magic missiles, but it's not enough for the takedown. Hannibal in deep, W's in, has everyone marked up, will finish off the objective, and now Born in a rough position. There's a great body block, and Deckard will fall. Raka is next on the chopping block, and Wait Till 10 have a commanding lead here going into, oh my gosh, Diablo, no! Into their first objective push. We've got early level 7s, about a full level lead now in favor of our first seeded team. In addition to not having a lot of frontline pressure with the Li Ming, it's also difficult to get the objectives cleared. Oh, Born a little too far out, and John Cena, with the follow-up from Tantrum, secures another takedown. So that'll be first fort going over in favor of Wait Till 10, 30 Seconds to Mosh. A little on the back foot here. They've equalized on the talent tier, 7-7. Ronin still waiting on their level 7 choice. Farfanugan trying to duke out with Hannibal, but Hannibal's got a lot more healing. Iceman here to put a little more pressure. Great force wall. Tantrum pinning Farfanugan against their tower there. Ronin and Lady Ronin set up on this camp. I don't think 30 Seconds are going to be able to get in here for the contest. And that is another mercenary capture. We can see that Wait Till 10 have gone ahead in that regard now, thanks to the grab of the bot neutral and the right side siege camps just now. And that has given them an early heroic talent tier advantage. We've got Cocoon, Dragon's Arrow, Emerald Wind for Brightwing. Not the most common, but still can be very powerful, especially into a melee composition, a melee heavy composition like 30 Seconds to Mosh. There is the phase shift. Raka looks like they're going to make it out with sub 100 HP. Yeah, 30 HP in a dream. That's all you need. Well done. Tormented Souls for the Malthael. I don't believe I've mentioned it. Al caught behind the force wall again. Tantrum is showing exactly how powerful it can be to create terrain into these slightly less mobile heroes. 10 just around the corner for 30 Seconds. But it's not here yet. Hannibal knows it and is going to get aggressive onto this siege bruiser camp here. Hannibal pops the Tormented Souls. Raka falling very low. There's the APOC as well. 10 just in time. 30 Seconds will secure the objective, but they'll pay for it with Raka's respawn timer. Al finds the Anubarak. Farfanugan throws out another root, but another great force wall from Tantrum cuts off the chase. 30 Seconds to Mosh were able to pick up their bruiser camp, but they lose another takedown, 7-0 thus far, in favor of Wait Till 10. And we saw some of the heroics go out in that team fight, but we might as well call out the rest of them. We've got Lornado, Force of Will, not Force of Will, Wave of Force. There you go. Bunker, Poisonova, and we already saw the APOC, of course. A little bit of a late rotation by Wait Till 10. Farfanugan putting a little bit more pressure on Ronin. They're going to have to scoot their way out. And still, Wait Till 10 have the advantage on this objective. Malthael has not arrived yet, but Wait Till 10 are using their abilities on Tassadar at excellent timings to get those monsters cleaned up. A great Dragon's Arrow from Iceman. Born to Shine is going to try and peel with the Lornado. Al caught on an island here. Auto attack Diablo not going to be able to scratch their way to safety. The objective is very close, but Hunter X is falling very low. They're going to have to go into full retreat with Bunker having already been used. And it's the second objective going in favor of Wait Till 10. And we can see some of the difficulty that 30 Seconds to Mosh have with Hunter X on the Li Ming. There have been some pretty massive stuns from Raka's Blaze. 2 heroes caught in each of the jet propulsions, but because they're happening on the shrine, it's been very difficult for Hunter X to get involved, finding most of the damage once the fight moves outside of the shrine. Level 13's now in favor of Wait Till 10. We've got Burning Beetles. I never remember which 13 that is from Malthael because it's the least common. Soul Siphon, sure. Ninja Assassin for Hanzo. A great Dragon's Arrow once again. Al will pull the APOC just as a retreat option. And it looks like that'll be enough to take John Cena down. They keep one keep tower. They're able to maintain one keep tower. But mid-fort is now under a lot of pressure. Farfanugan in full retreat here. A great cocoon from Ronin is going to give the rest of Wait Till 10 enough time to make it here and get the takedowns. Hannibal in deep now. Will the phase shift come through? It does. Hunter X unable to get their reset. And so that will be all she wrote for the last outer structure of 30 Seconds to Mosh. I really like how Hannibal has been playing on the Malthael, continuing to keep the map pressure up into a Zool Blaze composition. You can definitely fall behind on the macro. So keeping the Malthael working on those camps and getting value out of their level 1 on a Pale Horse is an excellent choice for Wait Till 10. Al in deep with the Shadow Charge, but they're going to be able to kite to safety. And we're almost at a 2-level lead here for Wait Till 10. Scary set of stuns will draw the Lornado. And we're now 16 to 13. It's really hinging primarily on the heroic takedowns, which then give Wait Till 10 the opportunity to get a lot of minions uncontested, as well as mercenaries. So they're leading on all categories, but it's really been on the backs of the takedowns they've been finding. Level 16, I believe Ronin has opted for debilitation. Yeah, not the most common, but not bad into a spell power heavy composition like 30 Seconds to Mosh have drafted. We've also got Pierce for Iceman. Pierce is definitely going to make it a little bit easier for them to apply pressure on the shrines now that their scatter arrows can get through all of the shrine monsters. 30 Seconds to Mosh are going to have a tough time finding level 16 before the next objectives phase. I'd love to see them just freezing waves at this stage in the game. Wait Till 10 have been pushing the experience to the right-hand side of the battleground, so if they let it come to them, they'd be a little bit closer to 16. Instead, they're going to have to hold hands and stay as 5, collecting experience through the mercenaries that they can get to. Would love to see someone soak this wave. They're going to skip it and opt for a pick opportunity. There's the CC going out all over. Hunter X will fall. Hannibal doing so much damage with the Tormented Souls. Al still alive, but it's not going to be for much longer. Another takedown of the Diablo will result in the Souls resetting. Farfanugan double stunned here by the Anubarak Ronin trying to keep Zool in place for Iceman to get the last couple of takedowns, but it looks like they're able to escape. Born to Shine has the potions available for their Necromancer. A little bit of Diablo synergy going on there. And I think this is a great call, sending most of Wait Till 10 to push with their Bruiser Camp and Catapult. They only need one hero on the Shrine. Tass is going to be able to clean that up very quickly, and all the while Malthael is soaking and looking for their Storm talents. About a level and a quarter away from that important power spike. $12-0 thus far in favor of Wait Till 10 with regards to takedowns, of course. We've got level 16s for 30 seconds to Mosh, and they still have a full HP keep, but the Frozen Punisher shutting down the structures is going to make it difficult. Roderick's Staff from Born to Shine might be able to prevent Hannibal from going hog wild in the back line. A Dragon's Arrow miss, that's very important. A great stun onto Ronin. A lot of damage onto the Anubarak, but it looks like they're going to be able to escape thanks to a timely Emerald Wind. Everyone gets in the bunker to dodge out on the Tormented Souls, and John Cena gets onto Farfanugan. Al falling low here, and they'll take him down. Hunter X trying to find the takedown here. Hannibal is sticky as ever, staying hugged to the Li Ming. A great grab from Iceman will secure the last hope that 30 seconds to Mosh had. Having that range damage is so important when it comes to defending these pushes. Being able to clear waves and put pressure on John Cena. And so with only Born to Shine left on the field, it's going to be a full ace as Wait Till 10 look to finish off game one. We've got a respawn coming in here from Farfanugan and Al, but it's going to be too little too late, and game one goes in favor of the home team. Wait Till 10. GG and well played. It was a pretty strong showing from Wait Till 10. They are the #1 seed for a reason. They've gone primarily undefeated, which is an odd little stat. They've only lost one of their regular season series, and it's showing perhaps why. Let's take a look at our post-game stats and builds as well to see how it all broke down. Hannibal on Malthael ends up top damage for the lobby, 48.5 thousand damage, as well as top experience contribution. A big game for Malthael. Hunter X putting out a fair bit of damage on the Li Ming, but the spell armor from Lady Ronin's Brightwing definitely stymieing that a bit. We can take a look at our builds once again. Some oddball talents, at least to my mind. I'm unaccustomed to seeing anything but Epicenter at level 16 for Anubarak. The spell power reduction, I guess, a tech pick for dealing with the Li Ming solo damage. And Polymorph at 1, a little bit of a surprise for Brightwing. But by and large, pretty standard builds. Nothing too out of the ordinary. In the end, it was the 17-0 stat line of takedowns that kind of told the whole story of game one. So we can head back to our battleground selection to see where we might be headed for game number 2 and log our first point for Wait Till 10. For anyone who tuned in midway through game 1, welcome. Happy to have you. We are in our semi-final round for Division D East. This is our first semi-final of the season. I believe the next one is happening just tomorrow. So lots of implications for the finals in these next 2 days. Now that 30 Seconds to Mosh have an opportunity to choose between first pick and battleground selection, I'm interested to see what they opt for. Wait Till 10 snatched up first pick without a second thought. But lots of teams have been favoring map pick thus far in the season. It looks like first pick is their preference, so we're going to be headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen as selected by Wait Till 10. A little bit of a different battleground as far as the objective is concerned. We're not going to be calling everyone to one part of the battleground immediately, but instead playing a lot more in lane, as is required for Tomb. I'd love to see 30 Seconds to pick up a little more reliable wave clear here on Tomb. The Li Ming solo ranged was a little bit tricky for them to work around, and the melee heavy composition just meant that Hannibal on Malthael was eating pretty well. And it looks like we've got all of our teammates in there, but we're getting a little bit of a stall time, so we'll do a little stall. For those who have been away from their computers, there's a new PTR patch out with some very interesting new gameplay changes. We already in this patch have seen some gameplay changes with the initial spawn of mercenaries moving down to 30 seconds, the minions becoming inspired, and small experience globes going the way of tower ammo. But in the next patch, it seems like we're going to get a third tower, as well as an increased premium on comeback XP. There were no numbers given for how much that change will affect the trailing team, but add on top of that some minor hero reworks, and it's an interesting PTR. I would strongly recommend everyone check out the patch notes. I imagine there will be a fair bit of fine-tuning before it hits the live servers, but the game is changing come next patch. That's for sure. All right, let's get into the draft for game number 2 on Tomb. And I'm interested to see if 30 Seconds keeps their bans the same. Joe almost never absent from a draft. She brings a lot of wave clear from the tank slot, which is an uncommon benefit, so it can free up other heroes in the flex slot to have less wave clear, like an Alarak, perhaps. And Tomb is a battleground governed by wave clear. So I would be surprised not to see the Johanna ban again. They're going to go for Tassadar first. All right. Wait Till 10, sticking with their Anduin ban. I think the Joe ban was the best call. I do like the adaptation for the Tassadar from 30 Seconds to Mosh. I think Tantrum's Force Walls were really challenging, for Mosh to deal with. They're going to ban the Garrosh. Of course they're not going to ban Joe. They have the opportunity to pick Johanna. Why would you first ban it when your first pick? Silly broadcaster. And there's the Deathwing ban. So keeping things just the same. Do 30 seconds to Mosh. Emphasize the Joe and prioritize it heavily enough to first pick it. If not, I believe Wait Till 10 is happy to pick the Crusader. This feels a little bit like the dog that caught the car. Alright, Johanna will be the selection. Vala, immediate answer with Brightwing once again. Not the most common healer pairing for Vala. Vala, of course, benefits from being able to position aggressively, and so having a healer that can give a fair bit of on-demand healing can be nice. Which, Phase Shift is a lot of on-demand healing, but there's a delay to it. The Cleanse has a delay to it. There's Leo and Nazebo. Okay. So we're looking for late game scaling on the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Johanna scaling well into the late game. Leoric and Nazebo both late game monsters, if given the opportunity to get their late game talents and quest stacks and whatnot. Next ban here for Wait Till 10. It's going to be Tychus again. Do we ban out the Anubarak? As we don't yet have any really solid Cocoon break options. Gonna ban KT instead. So both the Tassadar and Kael'thas bans targeting Tantrum's hero pool a bit. So we're gonna have to see a different look from Wait Till 10's flex player. I think Anubarak is a solid choice. They're going to opt for ETC instead and pair that with Orphea. Orphea bringing loads of wave clear and a fair bit of damage to boot. Last two choices for 30 seconds to Mosh. They need a healer and one more flex pick. They opted for a triple frontline composition in game one. We'll see if they stick to their guns on that front here on Tomb. And so they will. Stukov and Varian. A common pairing, but the question becomes, what flavor of Varian are we going to get? And will they be able to scale late enough? Diva. Okay. Once again, not a hero that I see super commonly, but the defense matrix from Diva could be very powerful. Once again, with a melee-heavy composition, 4 melee heroes all have to clump up around any CC'd target to do their damage, and so damage reduction from Diva's defense matrix could come in pretty clutch in those engagements. Traditionally, when you grab Varian Stukov, it's to play Taunt Varian. Farfanugan was their flex player last game on the Zool. This could be a flex Johanna, and it does give a blind, which prevents some damage from Vala, but Joe's damage doesn't really come online until around level 16. So it could be tricky for 30 seconds to Mosh to get to their later game. We'll see if their plan works out, sticking with the triple front line. And we've got Wait Till 10 looking to continue their dominance here Ronin on ETC, Lady Ronin on Brightwing, Tantrum playing Orphea, Iceman on Vala, and Hannibal playing Diva. The triple frontline wonders. 30 seconds to Mosh. We've got Born to Shine on Stukov, Raka on Leoric, Farfanugan on Joe, Al on Varian, and Hunter X on Nazebo. Take a look here. We've got the level 1 E quest for Tantrum, Growing Nightmare, as well as the auto attack quest, Creed of the Hunter, for Iceman. Farfanugan able to pick up all the gems, and the wave clear from 30 seconds to Mosh is pretty solid so far. Additional quests on the side of Mosh. We've got Lion's Maw for Al and Pandemic for Hunter X. A Toad throwing Nazebo, which I'm gonna guess it's C-Smash variant. I don't think you would go taunt here. And especially with Toads at level 1 from Nazebo. Ronin taking a little bit of damage. Iceman completely unfettered off to the side here. Already up to 25 stacks towards their first quest reward. Oh, Al falling very low here. Do they have one more charge of parry? They do not. First blood goes in favor of wait till 10. With Tantrum's ability to clear waves as quickly as Orphea can, wait till 10 have really been setting the pace on these rotations. Raka and Hannibal continuing to have a bitter duel in bot lane. We've got level 4s online now for both teams, and it is Colossal Smash. So a melee assassin, I believe the only one of Varian's level 4 talents that decrease his overall HP. But the Armor Shred is going to put a lot more kill pressure onto Iceman. Great weight on the face melt from Ronin, and that is a takedown of Nazebo there in top lane. They drop 8 gems, which is a fair number. They thought they were a little bit safer, but Ronin playing the engage range on Power Slide extraordinarily well. Raka falling low once again. They've got 15 gems. It would be a real shame if they were to lose them there. And Farf has opted for Iron Skin upgrade at level 4. Hold your ground. Vala up to 50 stacks on Creed of the Hunter now. Gaining her first quest reward of an additional 1% hatred damage bonus. Farfanugan getting some autos, but a timely phase shift from Lady Ronin will get Vala out of trouble. Linehouse wants a traffic report. Line, I have to be honest with you. I don't actually know how to give a proper traffic report because I haven't tuned in for you and Gibbs. So you'll have to excuse my ignorance on that one. Oh, Raka going down. Iceman over the wall. A great engagement right as the first objective spawns as well. Level 7s on both sides here. Farfanugan opting for healing reduction. I think it's a good call. Healing reduction and armor shred on their frontliners means that they're going to be able to put a lot of kill pressure onto whichever target Ronin's, or I'm sorry, whichever target they get the stun on. I would hope to see Farfanugan opt for Blessed Shield come level 10. Oh, Ronin's in deep, still mounted. Hunter X, do they have the zombie wall? They do, but it doesn't look like... Oh my gosh, the movement. Hunter X makes it out. Holds on to their gems a little bit longer. And after the first objective phase, mid-fort will fall. Those little spiders that get spawned are where all the siege damage comes from the objective. So remember that and take it into your games. You gotta focus on killing those. They do not lose health over time like the main spider does. So leaving them on a fort is a good way to lose it, as we saw in mid lane just now. Checking in on the experience front. Oh, Iceman puts a little pressure onto Rocket here. Once again, hero experience and minion experience a little bit heavily favoring. A little bit heavily. That doesn't make any sense. Sound. Either way, favoring Wait Till 10, it gives them the opportunity to pick up their heroic talents and start boss. All right, yeah. 30 seconds to Mosh, no. But they don't have heroics. So it looks like they're not going to contest, especially with Lady Ronin opting for Emerald Wind once again. It's excellent point control. And I imagine that boss grab will more or less neutralize... Oh, what a play! Immediate silence, but not before Hunter X falls to the damage. Tantrum continues to chase with the dashes on Shadow Waltz. But Ronin is in range for another power slide. Body blocks are solid. In the end, it looks like Al and Farfanugan will make it out to safety. Al just under 100 HP. Of course, while that chase has been going on, we've had the objective pushing in mid and bot lane. Raka getting through the rest of the front wall here. Hannibal almost set up with a self-destruct if they want to use it to clear off the last bits of the objective. And so we're going to lose fort front wall on all three lanes, but past maybe a third of bot fort's HP, Wait Till 10 are pretty pleased with their defense there. They were able to pick up a fort during 30 seconds to Mosh's own objective. And Iceman just 6 stacks away from the next power spike on Creed of the Hunter. Tantrum and Iceman will get through the Bruiser camp while Hannibal gets busy on the siege here in bot lane. A little bit greedy to go for both camps simultaneously. We'll see if they're able to punish Ronin here. Unfortunately, we don't have any solid lockdown on the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Opting for rather than Blessed Shield, opting for Falling Sword. So no reliable stun on the side of the red team. There's the Crushing Jaws onto Al. Iceman comes in with the punishment. Vaults in here. Farfanugan, not long for this world. They've got the Iron Skin back up, but one more auto attack. Oh, just makes it out. Sub 100 HP. Raka unable to stall the turn in for any longer. So Wait Till 10 secure their second objective phase. Nazebo at 42 stacks on Pandemic means that they have the ability to spawn 5 spiders now. Oh no, Raka already spending the Wraith Walk, and that will be another takedown for Wait Till 10. 9-0 thus far. All outer structures will fall on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh as they look for their level 13 talents. Raka spawning right on top of all 5 of Wait Till 10. Great body blocks from Ronin, and that is another takedown. So both mid and top lane have been completely tidied up. So 30 Seconds to Mosh can rotate down here to defend their bottom keep. Hunter X getting a rotation here onto Hannibal, but they're not going to get credit for that takedown thanks to the self-destruct proc. Iceman retreating away from the rest of 30 Seconds to Mosh here, but this Vala is kind of unfettered. There's no way to stop Iceman in their tracks. They're looking for their next turn-in on the side of Wait Till 10. Iceman, unconcerned, is just looking for the stacks. They've got 20 gems to drop, but it looks like they don't have any interest. Hannibal in deep here. Ronin, a Mosh deep under the fort. It's enough to get Born to Shine. Ronin has taken a lot of damage from the Toads, but Lady Ronin is in range. Raka tries the Entomb on Iceman, but Vala does the patented wiggle out that small model heroes are so prone to, especially when you've got the increased movement speed from level 7's Hot Pursuit. Lurking Terror at 16, not the most common. Raka feeling the wrath of the Pilot Diva. Pilot Diva, I believe, has the highest auto attack DPS in the game, baseline. So, Baby Diva, nothing to joke about. Iceman continues to lead the charge here. Wait Till 10, a little bit slow to cover the Vala, but with Gloom active and Manticore online, Iceman is willing to get ahead of the team and try and apply this percentage damage pressure. Farfanugan gets the blinds that they can. Ronin finds a triple crowd surf. Nope, power slide. There you go. But without punishment at level 4, or I'm sorry, subdue at level 4, Iceman is going to be able to continue kiting. 2 takedowns now. Iceman falling low, but the cleanse comes out. Farfanugan falls. Born and Hunter still trying to stop the Siege Camp and Webweaver push. We've got objectives crashing in mid and top lane as well. And this could be the push to the end for Wait Till 10. Iceman trying to chase Hunter down, but gonna have to settle for Born to Shine instead. Raka likely to fall next. Given the short respawn timers, I think it makes a lot of sense to play for the takedowns while your objective is ending. We've got Diva on the core while the rest of Wait Till 10 kind of zone 30 Seconds to Mosh out. Core is down below 30%, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for game number 2. Another decisive win for Wait Till 10. GG and well played to the home team. We did see a single takedown in favor of 30 Seconds to Mosh that time round. I believe, however, it's only one of those technicality takedowns in that it was Diva Mechs and they added up to be a takedown. 30 Seconds to Mosh still struggling to lock a target down and apply the Nazebo damage to them. Let's take a look at our post-game stats here. Iceman racking up a respectable amount of damage as well as takedowns, really showing why that Vala was first ban material for game 1. The frontline heavy composition of 30 Seconds to Mosh still kind of looking for answers. And without, I called it out in-game, but without Subdue at 4 or Blessed Shield at 10, Mosh didn't really have a reliable way to get a strong engage on the relatively mobile backline of Vala and Orphea. Add Emerald Wind, Brightwing, and a disciplined ETC to boot, and heal, and it's no surprise that Wait Till 10 are in the commanding position they have been. So let's head back to our battleground selection and see where we might head for game number 3. We've got large macro-focused battlegrounds available at this point. We could go for a boss control map like Cursed or Sky Temple. I am always a fan of Dragonshire just because of how dynamic the objective is across all 3 lanes. Garden of Terror is also in the map pool, and I know some people love it, so power to them. I think given their preference for melee heavy compositions, 30 Seconds to Mosh would like to see one of the boss control area battlegrounds, something where throwing your frontline weight around can really be impactful in an objective moment. Dragonshire, not quite as... Oh, and Garden of Terror falls into the same category. Not quite as, I would say, advantageous for a frontline heavy composition because of how spread across the battleground all of the action is. You've got many different camps or 3 different lanes in which to have to gain an advantage, and so it wouldn't necessarily favor them were they to head to either of those battlegrounds, whereas on Cursed or Sky, if you're able to control that boss pit, that can be the way that ends the game. All right. For those who tuned in midway through Game 2, welcome. Happy to have you. We are in Div D East with Wait Till 10 and 30 Seconds to Mosh. Wait Till 10 has been the dominant, overwhelmingly dominant, first place team throughout the season in the regular season, only dropping a single series to the second place Crimson Cyber Squad. And those 2 games that they lost to CCS are the only 2 games that they've lost thus far this season. So they're back with a red-hot flash after a 2-season hiatus. And I'm excited to see where they'll end up in the finals, and if CCS is able to make it past their semi, if it will be a closely contested series. I imagine it will be. Both teams seem to be pretty powerful in the division. All right. Line taught me how to do a traffic report. Pick a lane with only minions and provide very accurate and knowledgeable insight on the minion wave actions. Unironically, Line, when I have broadcast with more than one person, if I am not the primary observer, I spend a lot of time watching minion waves. I mean, I guess, like, chalk it up to off-lane brain, but I always want to know what the minions are doing. And so I definitely have been that person in duo casts where it's just like, oh yeah, and in bot lane we've got a double stack growing with a catapult in the next wave, so if someone doesn't come handle, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble, sort of a thing. It's a game about minions. A lot of people feel that Heroes of the Storm is about heroes, and the name would lead you to believe that, and I can understand that, but rest assured, fair friends, the minions are the main characters. I swear to you. And it looks like we should have our next lobby up here shortly. So we can get into our third, potentially final game of our best of 5. Awesome. And we have our next battleground selected, Cursed Hollow. As selected by Wait Till 10. So this is the sort of boss control battleground that I was mentioning that 30 Seconds to Mosh's preferred compositions might thrive on. Being able to fight around that boss pit can be very powerful. Of course, if they let Lady Ronin get the Emerald Wind Brightwing for the 3rd game in a row, that kind of shuts down the melee-heavy composition, especially when you're trying to control a point. So I imagine Brightwing's draft priority will increase on this battleground. We've seen neither team ban it thus far, focusing more on Anduin on the side of Wait Till 10. As far as support bans are concerned. I believe Born to Shine plays a fair bit of Brightwing as well. And so 30 Seconds to Mosh, rather than banning out, might just look to first pick the Brightwing. I think it works. So if they first pick the Brightwing and ban the Vala Garrosh, what does that leave Wait Till 10 with for their first go around? They could pick up the Falstad. We saw a Falstad ban from 30 Seconds to Mosh in game 1. They could also snatch up the Tassadar, which we saw Tantrum put on a masterclass with Force Wall. Looks like we've got all team members in the lobby now, so we should be off to the races here shortly. Dahaka has not featured at all in games 1 and 2 in either draft. So that would be another global that both teams might enjoy. Did receive nerfs in the most recent patch. Maybe not nerfs, changes. I would say received some adjustments. Namely to the Brush Stalker cooldown, up to 240 seconds from its original 75. Of course, you get cooldown reduction when getting into Globe Collection, but even so. I don't imagine that's going to be enough to dissuade either of these teams from considering picking up the Apex Predator, given how powerful global heroes can be on a battleground like Cursed Hollow. So, first ban from 30 Seconds to Mosh. We've seen the Joe, we've seen the Tassadar, we've seen Vala and Garrosh also before first pick. We'll see if they're going to continue kind of searching for their optimal first ban. Sticking with Tass. Okay. After Tantrum's strong showing on Orphea from Game 2, I don't know if the target bans on Tantrum have had the effect that 30 Seconds to Mosh would hope for. But if they first pick the Brightwing, that'll be the first time Lady Ronin has to be on a new look. So Vala is up. Are 30 Seconds to Mosh... I guess 30 Seconds to Mosh are willing to trade Vala Brightwing. Wait till 10 have the opportunity to ban either of them here, but they're going to stick with the Deathwing ban. So we'll see if the Brightwing is indeed first pickable in 30 Seconds to Mosh's minds. Lady Ronin has been getting some pretty solid saves with the Fairy Dragon. She's a global. Alright, Blaze first pick it is. So, I imagine we'll see the Brightwing Vala first round from Wait Till 10. But they are not as decisive as in earlier stages of the draft. Alright, they're going to opt for the double global instead with Falstad over Vala. And of course, Lady Ronin on her signature Brightwing. Next two picks before our ban phase. Hunter X likely to pick up one of 30 Seconds to Mosh's damage slots. I wonder if we'll see Born pick here. No, opting for Sonya instead. So we've got two frontline locked in for Mosh thus far. Some additional point control in the form of Junkrat with Concussion Mine. A Jaina ban. So the first time Tychus is available for 30 Seconds to Mosh. I don't know who their Tychus player is. If they're comfortable with Blaze taking on the main tank role, then they can still pivot to a 2 ranged damage setup. With the Garrosh ban once again. We saw Anubarak and ETC in games 1 and 2 from Ronin. Either, I think, could suit him well here. Tantrum opting for Naz this time around. That was not on my bingo card. And we're gonna go back to the Anub. Anub definitely not gonna struggle into the damage from Junkrat, given all of the spell armor he has at his disposal. We'll see how 30 Seconds to Mosh want to round out their draft. If they go down swinging with the triple melee composition or pick up the Tychus for the first time they have it available. Gul'dan instead. All right. Gul'dan not going to put pressure on the front line, but does have additional point control with Horrify and ramps up into the late game with their level 16 talents. And a last pick, Kira. So offlane Kira. Very interesting. So let's take a look. Once again, Wait Till 10 have very few hit points. Offlane Kira, main tank Anubarak. Nazeebo is going to be the tankiest hero on the blue team after a certain number of levels. But with that said, they've got a lot of damage and a lot of decisive engage between Brightwing, Anubarak, and Kira. So if 30 Seconds to Mosh, Hunter X in particular, or the captain on Gul'dan, either Junkrat or Gul'dan, Born is in trouble too. Yeah, if any of those heroes aren't able to get in the bunker, Wait Till 10 might just pick up a takedown before their small HP pools end up being of detriment to them. All right, let's get into game number 3. We can introduce our teams perhaps for the final time. Here on the left, we've got Wait Till 10, Ronin on Anubarak, Lady Ronin on Brightwing, Tantrum playing Nazeebo, Iceman on Falstad, and Hannibal on the Kira. And to the right, in red, 30 Seconds to Mosh looking for their first win in the series. Born to Shine on Deckard, the Captain on Gul'dan, Raka on Sonya, Hunter X on Junkrat, and Al playing Blaze. Iceman burned the Fly, looking for the first couple of stacks on their level 1 quest, Gathering Storm. They were only able to find one. And once again, at 30 seconds, we've got teams getting ready for the Mercenaries. I like to see that adaptation. Of course, that means in top lane, Raka has been completely free to push and got about half of this tower. It's a lot of free siege damage. Definitely nothing to sneeze at on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh. Most of Wait Till 10 are out of vision now, so Hunter X playing it pretty cautiously. And a lot of experience missing. There's the fly in, Iceman putting pressure onto Hunter X, but the Junkrat was able to escort those Siege Giants in. An excellent timing on the Bruiser Cap capture from 30 Seconds to Mosh means that they should be able to stall Wait Till 10's Bruiser Camp just in front of the wall. Unfortunately, the camp connects, so they're going to be able to get a fair bit of damage on that mid-fort wall. Kira making the rotation to top lane, does not connect with her revolving sweep. Raka gets dismounted here. Kira has opted for the auto attack spec, going for finishing touch at level 1, increasing both her auto attack damage and if you hit a hero below 50% HP, I believe. Yeah, you get an additional 20% damage and increased attack speed. So it is a really deadly 1v1 build. Up to 10 stacks on Pursuit of Flame for the captain. A very successful push here for 30 Seconds to Mosh with their Bruiser Camp. Up top, Raka putting a lot of pressure onto Hannibal there. It's going to draw the phase shift from Lady Ronin, who once again has not opted for Hyper Shift. So there's no cooldown reduction on the Al stunning on an island. Somewhat questionable rotation from the captain, won't get punished. And Raka spearing in. Alright, so all of Wait Till 10 have made it here before 30 seconds to Mosh. Hunter X, man, 30 seconds to Mosh makes some brave rotations. Raka will get chased down here on the bot side of the fight. Hannibal connecting those auto attacks onto Sonya. There are lots of stalls available for 30 seconds to Mosh, but they don't have any map pressure to really take advantage of. Yeah, so they'll instead just end up losing another. Hunter X will fall. Tantrum takes a lot of damage from the captain here, but Ronin sets up a body block. Oh no, they're in tower range, and that will be a takedown. 30 seconds to Mosh, picking up, I believe, their first full takedown of the match, of the series. And it gives them a little bit more experience and an earlier level 7. Bot lane has lost a fair bit of HP at this point. So structured XP will favor 30 seconds to Mosh until Wait Till 10 find equalization there. And with the objective spawning in the middle of the map, this would be a great time for Iceman to break off and fly in, opting instead to fly down to bot right now. "30 seconds to Mosh" don't look like they're interested in contesting this one at all. And given its a spawn position, I can't say I'm too surprised. They're instead going to turn their attentions to the top boss. Wait Till 10 don't have their boss control tools online yet in the form of Gust or Emerald Wind. So 30 seconds to Mosh, I think pulling the early boss makes a fair bit of sense. They're not going to be able to get to this bottom boss in time to contest, given how much damage Wait Till 10 have at their disposal between Hannibal and Iceman. So it's a boss trade in the end. And Tantrum is in range to start the defense here. None from 30 seconds to Mosh are doing a corresponding defense. The captain face checks this bush. Immediately Hannibal connects. They're going to use the grappling hook to get in. Raka channels the objective, so it's 2 for 1 in favor of Wait Till 10. Boss in top falls, but bot boss still about 50% HP and a triple stacked minion wave behind them. It's a good thing that Hunter X and Raka get here just in time. Those minions dealing 3 archers deal about as much damage to structures as a human form Grey main with Inner Beast active. So a triple stacked wave definitely could have gotten through that fort lickety-split. We've got heroics on both sides. We saw the Gargantuan there from Tantrum. We've also got Hinterland's Blast from Iceman. I guess if you've got Emerald Wind, you don't need the Gust. Sure. Horrified Leap, Rocket Ride. The captain really late for this rotation. Born to Shine, stunned for too long. Could not get in the bunker. Al gonna jet propulsion to safety. Captain tries to find a fear, but in the end does not connect. And Wait Till 10 just a little bit tighter on their rotational timings means that they're able to find these isolated takedowns on 30 seconds to Mosh. Raka able to escape with the leap. Hannibal takes a fair chunk of damage there from Junkrat. That's thanks to their level 7 Dirty Trickster, amplifying the damage of Total Mayhem. And this is where the real hurtin' begins for 30 seconds to Mosh. Ronin unable to contest the point in time. Raka caught in the zombie wall. Beautifully played from Tantrum and the Iceman there. The spell armor shred from the level 7 boomerang, amplifying Tantrum's contribution to that takedown a fair bit. Oh, a unfortunate set of Blaze accidents means that Al is going to take a lot of damage after a misplaced jet propulsion. Iceman still has the barrel roll to escape and will get out to safety. Keep front wall is all Wait Till 10 are going to get here in bot lane. Mid fort went down, and top fort still pretty healthy. I imagine Hannibal will have something to say about that. Putting a fair bit of damage onto Raka here. Here's the fly in from Iceman as well. The stun is good. There's the slow. Ronin in range. Oh my goodness. Perfect timing on the Kira heroic. There wasn't a minion to tank for Ronin, so he'll fall. Hannibal in onto Born. A great zombie wall as well. The captain and Born both caught by Tantrum's terrain building zombies. Woo! Hannibal continuing to soak up here while the rest of Wait Till 10 get busy on top fort. Level 13s on both sides. Will this be the difference maker? Al opting for Grill and Kill at level 13, increasing oil spill damage. Perhaps most excitingly, once the damage is dealt, it increases the duration, which synergizes well with your level 7 nanomachine coating, which offers attack speed reduction. Surprised to not see Al opt for Collision Course at 13. We've got another boss trade set up here. Wait Till 10, much faster to get through their boss than 30 seconds to Mosh. But I don't think there's any threat of an invasion, even with the global. So it's just going to be a boss trade as next objective is announced in bot lane. Raka going to have to stick around in top lane to get a little bit more experience. 30 seconds to Mosh, trailing by a full level towards their level 16 talents. Hannibal has been kind of free and clear to pick up experience across the battleground here. I don't know if Mosh are going to be able to clear this before the keep goes down. Al, caught in the zombie wall, gonna have to drop the bunker there. A Fear catches Ronin, but no follow-up CC. There's the root from the Junkrat trap. A lot of damage onto Al here. They pop the Pyromania for the armor. A great sidestep there, and straight through the potion. So they survive. The keep not as lucky, but none of 30 seconds to Mosh were lost in the push. And checking in on the top boss, it's not going to make it past the keep front wall, but once again, the minions behind it are really where a lot of the boss push damage comes from, so keep front wall likely to fall here on the side of Wait Till 10 as they finish collecting their 4th tribute. And talent tiers have equalized. Born to Shine opting for Heraldric Staff at level 16 once again. We've got Darkness Within for the captain. Al looking for the jet propulsion on Ronin. Hannibal connects with the revolving sweep. And we see lots of heroics come out from 30 seconds to Mosh. That's defensive cooldowns and offensive cooldowns both. And with Wait Till 10 having committed none, they are in an advantageous position to fight. I would love to see them press the issue here, rather than playing it as passive as they are, falling back to collect the second tribute for their next curse. Only up to 30 stacks on Tantrum's Pandemic. How many stacks does Iceman have? 83. That's a bunch. That's a bunch of damage. There's more free experience for Kira to collect in bot lane. They'd love their Storm talents. Iceman hit with the jet propulsion. There's the follow-up Ancient Spear. And the leap as well. Iceman's going to fall. Ronin in a lot of trouble here, but the Emerald Wind will be enough to get them out alive. Born to Shine caught in the zombie wall. That's with Ring of Poison as well. An excellent dodge on the Rocket Ride. Tantrum takes the damage from Total Mayhem, but avoids the initial impact. And so a solid ice block timing there. 30 seconds to Mosh. Able to get another takedown here. Their third of the game thus far. Definitely showing a lot more comfort on game 3 on Cursed Hollow. Bosses spawning in the next minute here. And it's pre-20. It might be in Mosh's interest just to pick a fight. Pre-20 on the left-hand boss. They're not going to be able to get it. They've got to fight over the curse now as well. And Hannibal almost getting them to level 20. This last minion in mid will do it. And so we've got Storm talents for Wait Till 10. Harsh Winds. Voodoo Ritual, no. Vile Infection, 10 stacks away for Tantrum. Hinterland's Upgrade. It's a lot of damage onto Tantrum here. But they've got Ice Block still. There's the first Hinterlands. There's the second Hinterlands. There's the third Hinterlands and the first takedown. Owl will fall next. Hannibal wants to chase Born down here. Gonna have to settle for the captain. Does not connect with the revolving sweep. There's the curse, and Gul'dan falls. Alright, so curse, if there's an upside for 30 seconds to Mosh, curse doesn't turn your core off. So that's nice. And you still have Junkrat up, which is some of your best anti-siege. But with that said, Hunter X and Born to Shine are definitely playing from behind here. Iceman, Hannibal, Tantrum all doing a lot of damage to the core, and they've got a fair bit of CC to boot. Core down below 50% already, and that's going to be all she wrote for the series. A 3-0 in favor of the blue team. Wait Till 10. GG and well played to both of our teams. It's the end of the season for 30 seconds to Mosh, but it was hard fought to the end. We can update our scoreboard here and say that Wait Till 10 definitely looking as strong as their point total for the regular season would lead one to believe. Losing only one series, losing only 2 regular season games. It's a convincing win, to say the least. Let's take a look at our post-game stats here. Iceman, 56,000 damage on the Falstad. Unfortunately, neither the Captain nor Hunter X were able to get anywhere near those numbers. Hannibal on Kira also doing a fair bit of damage there, up at 29,000. Takedowns, once again, favoring Wait Till 10 pretty heavily. 30 seconds to Mosh. Able to secure 3 of them this time round, but it was a pretty one-sided affair, all things considered. Taking a look at our talents once again. Bit of a hybrid build for Hannibal on the Kira, with auto attacks at 1 and 4, and then some later revolving sweep talents. We saw Tantrum getting a great deal of value out of their level 16 zombie wall. Yeah, the Ring of Poison doing so much damage. Getting at least one bunker out of Al there in the late game. So a strong Nazebo, no doubt. So there you have it. That's the series. Wait Till 10, after a dominant regular season, show no signs of slowing in the postseason. They're looking good and fighting strong. I'm going to try and wrangle an interview with our winners. See if I can't shed a little bit of insight for all you folks at home about how they're feeling about their current win, as well as their upcoming final appearance. I'll also just ping them just to let them know. But yeah, as I said, it was a strong showing. They looked good across all 3 battlegrounds. Sometimes you see teams that will excel on tighter ones or larger ones, but Wait Till 10 definitely showing prowess across the entire category. And we will be joined by Ronan. Welcome. Congratulations. How are you feeling after your series win?
Feeling really good. I was happy with everybody. Solid performance all around. That's what we wanted to do.
Absolutely. Now, this is your first season back after a 2-season hiatus as a team. Is that correct?
Might even be more than that. I think it's like 3 or 4. Because I played with other people, but with our original team, which is this lineup, yeah, it's been at least 3 or 4 seasons.
Wow. Okay. So it doesn't look like the time away has slowed y'all down at all. You have only dropped 2 maps thus far this season. How do you think that has shaped your view going into this postseason of your chances to making it late into the championship run?
Yeah, we were definitely rusty on that first game. We ended up playing the team that finished, I think, either second or third. I can't remember. But they were really tough, and we just kind of figured out what we needed to do right away. Just kind of get together more on comms and like be consistent with the CC callouts and with the follow-ups. And so honestly, this season we've played like better than we ever have for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe that really long break helped out. And everyone is just playing more like a team than more like individuals that we did in the past.
Awesome. Yeah. And that synergy was on full display throughout the series. Game 1, it was a very clean showing on Infernal Shrines. Were you expecting the melee-heavy compositions that 30 Seconds to Mosh showed? Okay.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That did not...
I was like, oh crap, they're gonna try to like out macro us or something. Like, I think you just gotta like stay in lane and just don't ever leave a lane open.
Yeah, the flex pick Zool definitely threw me off. It didn't seem like it caused you guys too much ire, though.
Yeah.
Tantrum on TAS was definitely a high point for me from game 1. some amazing force walls. Of course, the Anubarak looked great both games 1 and 3 from you, but the task walls in particular in game 1,
Yeah.
as we saw the respect band go out for games 2 and 3, I think Mosh felt similarly about it. We saw a
Yeah.
little bit of a target onto the Tantrum's hero pool in game 2, but that just pulled out an Orphea that looked incredible. How flexible do you feel like your team is from a draft standpoint?
Yeah, I think we're very flexible. Like I said, we've been playing, for a long time, and we've just started playing different heroes over the years. I mean, people definitely have their comfort picks, but for the most part, yeah, I think everybody is pretty flexible. We have at least if you're gonna play a mage, know at least 4 mages, right? Because if they ban 2 or 3 of them, and you only have that many, it's like, uh-oh, well, what are we gonna do? So yeah, I would say we have at least 4 strong picks on every tank, healer, assassin, bruiser.
Yeah, I mean, it looked great when we saw people flexing. I know that KT and Tass have been comfort picks for y'all thus far in the regular season, but the Orphea looked mighty clean as well in game 2. And another triple frontline composition. The Smash Varian, I thought was an exciting choice.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But unfortunately, there was no solid lockdown from Mosh. How worried were you playing a squishy tank like ETC, seeing that Varian, Johanna, this is a composition that could eat beef every day of the week?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they could have been a little bit more aggressive with that. But in the same time, I always made sure I was trying to hold the knockback with ETC. I can't just use this willy-nilly. I have to wait for the Varian, or Joanna coming in. I have to be ready to just keep that and knock them back, because otherwise I'm dead every time.
I have to give you some serious kudos. I thought your ETC play was rock solid, excellent body blocks, awesome. Disciplined usage on the face melts, and just making loads of space for Iceman to pump damage all game.
God, he scares me. I'm always having to watch him. He loves to be aggressive, and it's oh my gosh, you have 2% health. What are you doing? So I'm constantly just sticking to him for that reason. But it seems to work out because I have a protective nature, and then he's very aggressive. So just whoosh, kind of fits right there in the middle.
It definitely looked clean in game 2. Last but not least, Cursed Hollow. I am noticing game 1. This struck me as well as in game 3. Low hit point pools in a lot of your drafts. Do you feel like the decisive engage nature of something like an Anubarak and backed up by Akira is more important than that additional HP of, say, a Blaze? Or is it just, it looked good this game sort of a thing?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Hannibal just picks what he feels like it's gonna work, and it seems to work out for the most part. I was a little worried about it too. I'm oh my gosh, they're gonna leap in, they're gonna blaze stun, they're gonna fear, all this just stacked on top of each other. And so I was just trying to keep their team a little bit separated, their eyes on me, part of the time, and hopefully spread out some of that CC. So I guess it worked. But there's a couple times, I mean, the Kira stuns, if he latched onto that, we definitely had a kill with our damage. So I was pretty confident with that, at least. But still scary to go up against that much CC with a bunch of squishies.
Absolutely. Well, you guys looked incredible in your semifinals. You're headed to the finals. It's between CCS and
think FHK.
FHK, yeah.
Yeah, that should be a good match. I really want to see that one. I know their last meeting, I think it was 1 and 2 or something like that.
Gotcha. And CCS, the only team to have taken a series off of you guys.
Yeah, that was our very first game. It was like, all right, we got to work on something here. Like we didn't even get a win, so
All right.
that whipped us into shape real quick.
Yeah. So you haven't dropped a game in tournament since week 1. Wow, incredible season.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats. I'll stop talking your ear off. I'll let you go back and celebrate with the team. Floor is yours for any shout outs you want to give.
Again, shout outs to the team. Everyone played really well. Shout outs to the game from 30 Seconds to Mosh. They're always fun to play against and just kind of banter with a little bit. Shout outs to you for casting us. Really appreciate that. And that's about it, I guess.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Ronan. Take care.
How are you too? Later.
So there you have it, everyone. A strong showing from a strong team. Wait Till 10 have not dropped a game since week 1 and show no signs of slowing down. FHK and CCS have their work cut out for them after they get through their semifinal match tomorrow. That's going to do it for me here on the NGS channel. I'll give some shout outs of my own before I sign off. First and foremost, to everyone who tuned in to watch and support these teams. That's what makes the NGS community so great, is having everyone come out and support and watch. So thank you for tuning in. We wouldn't have this amazing league to participate in if not for all of the hard work of the volunteer staff. So a huge shout out to them. And last but not least, a big shout out to all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions. You can find their work in a credit roll coming up here at the end, as well as perhaps with exclamation mark credits in chat. That command may not still be active. But it's all open source or Creative Commons licensed material. So if there's anything you've heard or seen that you think was really cool, it could be in your next project as well. Until next time, friends, you've been excellent. Good luck and have fun out there. Peace and love.